huge beef in the Irish politics arena. Of course, we have Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, okay, attacking our own Taoiseach Micheál Martin, who is a liberal cuck. Okay, of course, Viktor Orban is a strong, conservative Hungarian man. I love to see that. My auntie in Eastern Europe, she's actually from Hungary, and she's a legend, so much love to her. So we got an article today here from the Irish Examiner. We're going to go through it, guys. We're going to explain exactly to all the Hungarians, all the based Hungarian patriots, how a lot of people in Ireland are liberal cucks, you know, and white knights, and they're Marxist wokes, you know, woke Marxists and communists, basically. We're going to explain to all the Hungarians how much a lot of our people here suck, okay, and how they're losers, okay. So, starting off the article, of course, Hungarian Prime Minister has hit out against the Taoiseach after accusing Hungary of exploiting the European Council veto. Okay, Micheál Martin said the veto mechanism is abused by Hungary and called to the EU to take action before it renders the union dysfunctional. Responding to the Taoiseach's comments, Mr. Orban said, "Always shocking when we see an Irish patriot choose to stand on the side of an empire instead of national sovereignty." I love that. I love that. And we'll show a video where Micheál Martin literally says, there's a video coming up, Micheál Martin literally says, "We do not want to have the backwards idea of sovereignty." I mean, how insane is that? Like, that is crazy. You don't want your country to flourish as you as the leaders. They want to be run by other men. It's like some sort of sadomasochistic thing where they want, you know, men to be ruling over you. I want to be independent as a country. As a man, you know, I want to be my own man. Okay, in his posts, Orban spoke of a love story between Irish and Hungarian patriots, and asked Micheál Martin not to ruin it. Okay, we're going to read out his tweet here. So it says, "We Hungarians have always regarded Irish patriots as champions of freedom and national independence." Because of course, 1916, you know, Michael Collins, we have all these great leaders. We fought back against the British. We have a national independence in Ireland. I love to see it. He said, "For us in Hungary," this is Viktor Orban's tweet, "Ireland is a symbol of liberty and sovereignty. For this reason, it is always shocking when we see that Irish patriots choose to stand on the side of the empire instead of national sovereignty. Please don't ruin the love story between the Irish and Hungarian patriots." And he puts up the Hungarian flag and the Irish flag. And it's absolutely incredible, guys. I love to see that. You know, it is a beautiful, you know, idea and a beautiful kind of bringing together of the Hungarian and Irish people. So here we have, "Let there be no doubt, Ireland wants nothing to do with Micheál Martin." I actually agree with that more than the actual statement. Let's listen in, because Micheál Martin says, "We want nothing to do with the backwards idea of sovereignty." Absolutely insane.
Led to the two bloodiest wars in history. Let there be no doubt about where Ireland stands. We want nothing to do with a backward-looking idea of sovereignty.
You heard it yourself, guys, right from the horse's mouth. Absolutely insane, guys. You know, Ireland should be its own country. I hate to see other countries leading it. The EU, I've said it in other videos, we should have left the EU 50 years ago. They've caused us nothing but trouble. We can make money in other ways. You know, people are so afraid to make money nowadays. Like, if, you know, you don't have to be part of the EU to make loads of money. Plain and simple. A spokesperson for the Taoiseach acknowledged Mr. Orban's comments but did not respond to them, saying Micheál Martin has been very clear in his statements, okay? He criticized the European Union. Mr. Martin criticized Hungary extensively in an interview with Euronews, warning that the EU will become unworkable if Hungary's abuse is permitted to continue. So, and here's the thing, guys. The EU have been nothing but trouble. Okay, we have big business with America, you know, Apple, and now they want to sue Apple for $14 billion. It's absolutely ridiculous. Or I think it's actually billion euros. So it's even more, $16 billion. It's insane. So Micheál Martin says, what's he say? "It is outrageous what's going on in the moment, in my view. It's essential that Ukraine becomes member of the European Union for geopolitical reasons." Why is that? He's part of the big elites, you know, Leo Varadkar. They're all part of this globalist elite. Totalitarianism. He continued, "But it seems that people are exploited the mechanisms of the veto, unreasonably in my view. Europe has made a lot of attempts to try and unblock these issues through mediation and engagement. There are a number of instruments that the EU can deal with Hungary's actions, including Article 7, and we shouldn't be afraid to use them." Okay, so he's saying that we should basically just, you know, veto flipping Hungary. Insane. "Article 7 of the Treaty on European Union provides against action of any member state which is deemed to be at risk of serious breach of rule of law." I mean, this is the leaders we have, complete cowards. I, for one, love to see Viktor Orban ruling the roost. He rules very powerfully, strong leader. We are very concerned that Hungary, in terms of undermining the LGBTI community and banning of pride parades, that's a very fundamental issues that the European Union is engaged with. That's Michał Martin. Like, this guy is a complete idiot. We have wars overseas, we have crazy shit going on. Michał Martin is concerned about Hungary not allowing pride parades. Like, completely stupid, guys. Completely stupid, man. You hate to see a leader like that actually get any sort of progress. I don't know how or who voted in Michał Martin, guys, but it is an absolute travesty that people voted back in the same government. I truly think that people have some sort of disownment syndrome or something, insane. But we have multiple videos here about Viktor Orban, okay, and this one here today is called Why MAGA, Why People that are obviously on the right, conservatives, love Viktor Orban. Okay, we're gonna look into it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me down below if you guys want to see more of these little videos. Of course, this isn't gonna be that long, but Viktor Orban seems like a strong leader. Let's hear it.
His second favourite world leader.
Hungary, strong country, run by a very powerful, tough leader, tough guy.
Hungary's Prime Minister has a claim to being the world's most successful populist. As Europe's longest-serving leader, he's written Christian values into the constitution.
Yeah, so Ireland and Hungary are Christian countries, and people want them to stay Christian, as much as the woke Marxists want to destroy religion, they want to destroy any sort of culture that we have in Ireland. It's good to see that we're holding on to something at least.
Built a border fence to keep out refugees.
Yeah, they built borders, huge borders, and they actually shoot people coming across. If you're illegal, you are breaking the law. So, if you want to, legally, do something in the country, like I said before, we can have that debate. But if you're illegal, guys, that's up to the country. You play stupid games, you want to run across the borders. It's crazy. They're going to shoot you. It's wild.
And systematically removed checks on his personal authority. The MAGA right has been paying close attention.
We must take back the institutions in Washington and in Brussels.
It isn't just the cultural spectacle that excites them, it's the results. While other populists have struggled to translate electoral success into long-term power, Orban has dominated Hungary for 15 years.
Yeah, because, the Hungarian people are based, anyone in Eastern Europe, Slovakia, Hungary, Poland, we think we're religious here in Ireland. We're not religious in Ireland compared to the Eastern Europeans. We're not strong. Like, we elect these dorks, Michał Martin, Simon Harris. Like, trust me, in Eastern Europe, they're very strong people, very conservative, very hardcore people.
Economic frustrations and fears over immigration and LGBT issues, while seizing near total control over its institutions. Under his rule, cronies of his regime have become fabulously wealthy, and Hungary is now rated the most corrupt country in the European Union.
Yeah, they rate that because they want complete, rule over people. The EU is creating their own corruption study. I think Ireland is the 17th most corrupt country in the world, but in the EU, they would call it not corrupt because, of course, we're listening to everything that they say.
Gerrymandered electoral lines in his party's favour, packed the courts with loyalists by forcing existing judges into retirement, and seized control over most of the media, turning Hungary's public news agency into a propaganda organ and making it...
That's funny coming from The Economist and BBC and all these other newspapers. They're all propaganda specialists.
...free, driving competitors out of business. The European Parliament calls Hungary an electoral autocracy. For a faction of US conservatives, it's a model for how they could transform America. There are striking parallels between Orban's first term and Trump's second. Orban swept to power in 2010 on a wave of anger at the previous government's management of the economy. He amended the constitution 12 times in his first year alone, paving the way for his assaults on the judiciary, media, and universities.
They needed a complete overhaul. Hungary was just going crazy. It was going this liberal, woke, route that Ireland has been going.
Trump began his second term in a similar whirlwind of action. He signed 26 executive orders on his first day back in office. He has swept away safeguards designed to keep the Department of Justice at arm's length from politics, and empowered Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to take a hatchet to what he views as an insubordinate federal bureaucracy.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a lot of federal bureaucracy in America. Anyways, guys, we're going to leave it there. We're going to keep it to the European zone. But yeah, absolutely crazy to see that, they're trying to get rid of this guy. Michał Martin's fighting now with Viktor Orban. Viktor Orban is going to come out on top, guys. They are more alpha, and they're more brave than any of the politicians here. Let me know your thoughts. If you want me to keep hitting back against the mainstream media, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the join link underneath the video. Okay, become a member today of my Gains Gang cult, and I'll see you all in the next one, man. Peace.